what really, really works is you have to be a human behind the camera, be relatable. Don't sell things like nobody cares about you saying, run to Sephora and buy this, run to this place and buy that. People are tired of being sold. People want to relate to you. They want to be your friend.
Hi, we are Claudia and Olivia from SWAI. SWAI is a user-generated content platform and a creator ecosystem based in Berlin, Germany. And this is the first episode of SWAI podcast.
We are super excited to be speaking to Lohanny Santos today. Lohanny is a New York-based content creator who literally went viral overnight. Enjoy!
Olivia and Claudia, beautiful. Hello. Thanks for having me.
Me and Claudia were like strategizing, how can we grab her attention, And then somehow this trend TikTok worked. So
Yes.
thank you for picking it up.
It worked immediately. I was like, what's this? It's so fun.
Can I ask you, your background looks amazing. Are you at the office or is it your home office? Looks like a crazy view.
It's actually my room. It's my room. It's my bedroom.
So, wow.
and it just has like the windows.
We are very curious, how is it to be a content creator in New York City specifically?
I would say it's really exciting, and being a content creator took a really long time for me because I've been posting on like TikTok and social media for like 4 years now, or like 3 years, and I kept posting like every single day, and I wouldn't get more than 200 views. I would have it took me like months to even get to 1,000 followers, but I still, had this goal, and I saw what influencing was doing for other people and how it changed their lives, and I wanted it to change my life because I was pursuing an acting career that wasn't happening. So then I thought, maybe if I post every day or all the time and, I gain a following on social media, I can become an actor, or I can have an easier time booking movie shows and TV shows, all those things. But the moment that I started working out for me was when I was sharing my unemployment journey with TikTok. And I feel like that really was relatable to a lot of people. And not everyone, talks about their downs online. And I think that's what made me different. But being a content creator in New York specifically is really cool because even though sometimes I might run out of ideas, there's so much going on in New York. I can go to a coffee shop and make a video of my favorite coffee shop. I can go to Soho and take pictures and post it on Instagram. Or I can go to my favorite brunch spot, talk about that. There's just so much to do that I almost can't really get bored of being here, And so a lot of my content now is me doing fit checks in the streets. And even though it's me doing a fit check in the street, something always happens. A stranger walks up to me and talks to me. Somebody recognizes me and says hello, and I catch that on camera. Or people are staring at me in the back. And it's just cool capturing kind of the essence of what it's like to live and interact with people in New York. So I would say it's definitely a privilege and very lucky to be here. And I enjoy it for the most part. I've been here for 8 years, so I definitely like it.
Super cool. So I've been following your journey, and I would be curious about how you could break this from 200 views per video to this where you are now. What is how do you discipline yourself to post consistently? And is there any other recipe to make it on TikTok?
Yeah. It's funny, there's people who dedicate their accounts to recipes on how to grow and stuff, or people who even sell programs online. And I consumed all of that. I've taken all the advice that they gave you, post 3 times a day. No, post 6 times a day. No, post 10 times a day. And it's oh my gosh, everybody has so much to say and none of it was working. I think what really, really works is you have to be a human behind the camera, be relatable. Don't sell things nobody cares about you saying, run to Sephora and buy this, run to this place and buy that. People are tired of being sold. People want to relate to you. They want to be your friend. They want somebody that they can trust and rely on or doubt with, So I think what really works is, for example, as a company, stay away from selling and show us what your company looks like. If you only have 2 people, share your dreams, you guys want to go global, share your dreams of going global so that when you are global, there's going to be a team of people behind you saying, oh my gosh, I remember when it was only 2 of you guys in the office and now it's a whole team and you guys are global. So I think what what works is, sharing your dreams, like showing like what you do, your life, and just being honest behind the camera. But also, what works with TikTok and social media is there has to be some sort of shock factor to your content, or there has to be something to comment on in your content so people, feel this impulse to comment. For example, sometimes I'll wear a necklace that I never wore before or a really funky top. So I know that people are going to comment, where did you get that necklace from? Where did you get that top from? Oh my gosh, like, did you get it in New York? So that's something to comment on. I just got a haircut. Now people are going to comment on the haircut because it's new, right? So something to comment on, whether it's something you're wearing or something you're saying, right? Maybe you're saying something controversial. That also pulls attention on TikTok. Maybe you're saying, I hate orange juice. It's the worst juice in the world. Now people are going to comment, all the orange juice lovers, they're going to come to the defense of orange juice and they're going to say, but I love orange juice. How could you say that? Like, personally, I can't live without orange juice. And then people are going to start sharing their comments about that and why orange juice is so important. So there has to be that. There also has to be some sort of like relatability, But also, don't be afraid to share maybe strong opinions. There's this account on TikTok that I really love. It's called Nitro Bar, and it's like this coffee company in Rhode Island. And the owner goes around saying, "What's your controversial coffee opinion?" And the person goes, "Somebody ordered coffee with Coke and ice cream and a splash of root beer in it today." And then they make it, and then she tries it, and then rates it and says, "Yep, that's really good," or "Yeah, that sucks. Don't order it here." So it's just like that video, it's controversial because who would want that kind of coffee with soda inside of it, with ice cream or root beer inside of it? But also, maybe some people will be down to try it. So I think that just like being a person behind the camera, being transparent, having something to be commented on, or, if you're a business, share what your environment looks like and who are the people behind the camera.
Yeah, like once you got viral, probably a lot of brands started coming to you and asking for some deals, right? And like, how did you secure that first brand deal?
Yes. So the first brand deal I got was with Julie. It's like a morning after pill company. And when I got through my viral resume video, somebody reached out to me and they were like, "Hey, Lohanny, I just want to help you. I want to put you in touch with this company I think you'd be a good fit for." And so I hopped on a call with him, and then he introduced me to the Julie team in a Zoom meeting. And then we all chatted and they said, "Great, we want to work with you." So that first brand deal was through somebody who reached out and wanted to help me. And other brand deals that I've gotten was through a manager that I signed with. And the manager was, responsible for pitching me, getting me brand deals, and interacting with people and brands on my behalf. So that was all through them. And then sometimes brands reached out to me through like keeping up with me on social media, or maybe they like knew me already and we had an existing relationship. So that's how it all worked out too.
Wow, this is insane because now that you said it, I remember your pieces of content when you're like, "Oh my God, I'm so scared, I'm pregnant with my boyfriend." And I thought like, "Oh my gosh, like she's so serious and she's like sharing it." And now it was a brand. It was
In the future, yeah, in the future, it turned out to be a brand deal for sure. And company, they're really well known for like talking TMI. They talk about things that people don't really talk about online. They'll talk about like periods, or like, "I just did this with my boyfriend. Let me take my pill." They're very known for their out there content. They're like unafraid. And so because I'm also, unafraid, that was a perfect match. So I think that's another pointer that I missed out on telling you guys. If you do things that other people won't do, other people are too scared to do or uncomfortable to do, that's also a way to stick out, right? Like, I'm very like a people person, and not everybody's gonna go in New York and film themselves talking to strangers, because not everybody is comfortable with talking to strangers. So that's something that's like special to me and what makes me stand out. Like girl in New York who talks to people she doesn't know. So that also definitely helps.
I would be curious about you. You already said like you are very known for talking to strangers, and that sounds like quite a challenge for me. But like thinking about your TikTok journey till now, what would you say was like your biggest challenge, and how would you say you overcame it?
Yeah, my biggest challenge was definitely um having 200 views for years. because I thought, oh my gosh, everybody's saying this is so easy. Person A over there told me they gained 10,000 followers in a week, and I have 500 followers in 2 years. What am I doing wrong? And so I just, for a long time, I kept pushing through it, but it was just a struggle because I wasn't really seeing success or I wasn't seeing results. And because I wasn't seeing any of that, it was hard for me to kind of keep pushing. So there were some moments where I actually stopped making videos. I took a month off and then I thought, no, but I really like doing this. I want to do it again. And then I would try and then I would post so many times a day. And then I wouldn't see the results and then I would pause again. So I kept having these moments where I would stop, but then I would continue, continue, continue. So I think the hard parts was really pushing through the moments where things weren't happening for me and just knowing that someday it would.
How is it to work at a PR agency as a content creator?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. If anything, it's like a really amazing gift because I'm around all, it feels like I have a table, like I have a seat behind the table where things are happening, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yes.
at this incredible agency where they represent fashion, high-end fashion brands. They represent hair care brands and athleisure brands. They represent all these brands that I could also be working with. And so I'm like, like around everything that's happening. I'm knowing the conversations that people are happening with these brands. And also there's like one of my colleagues, she works with picking influencers, and I get to ask her, how do you pick influencers in New York? How do you know which influencers are right for these projects that these companies are asking for? So now I'm getting details of what these companies are looking for, what kind of influencers they want to work with, and maybe I'll make some content tailoring to what that brand is looking for, Maybe I'm making more fashion videos because I want to work with that brand. And also Redger, they host a lot of influencer pop-ups, like they work with Matilda Jerf and Jerf Avenue, and I'm a big, big fan of Matilda Jerf and Jerf Avenue, and I recently went to the pop-up in New York, and that was cool because that's my company represents that brand. So it feels like really awesome because not only am I learning what's happening behind the scenes, but I'm also being a part of the scenes. So it's super inspiring and exciting and also liberating because I'm there part-time. So part-time I'm doing this job and then the other time I'm pursuing influencing. So I feel very like in a good spot right now where I feel safe, where, I have a job, I'm making income from my job, and then anything that comes from influencing is an added bonus.
We actually went to one PR agency today just to like check out their showroom, which was also like
Yeah.
a great experience to be there. And there is
Yeah.
Redgert in Berlin, by the way. I don't know if you
Oh
knew, but
yes, I do know that actually. Yeah, they have it all over Europe. I've been whispering to them saying, "Bring me to Europe. I'll make content there for you guys."
they should definitely do. Otherwise they're missing out,
Yeah.
I would be curious, like once you went viral, like the job interview video, right?
Yeah.
Could you maybe like describe a bit more like how your life changed when that happened?
I'll say that everything changed for me. I went from being a babysitter, pursuing an acting career that wasn't working out, that wasn't going anywhere. The babysitter job felt like a dead end in a way. It wasn't a good environment. It made me feel really, really down. And then all of a sudden, I was let go in November. And then I thought, oh, you know what? Maybe I can do TikTok, but I wasn't making any money. So I went months applying for jobs on LinkedIn, applying for jobs. I went as far as reaching out to people who had jobs that I liked. And I said to them, hey, can I please have a referral to your job? Or is your job hiring? Can I grab a cup of coffee with you? I would love to ask you questions about your job. And, I wasn't getting responses. I wasn't getting interviews. I was basically just getting no, 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 no. And I thought, oh my gosh, like now really, I have no job. I live in this like apartment, but like I have rent to pay. What am I to do? I'm not getting anything. Literally, I was like at the bottom of the gutter in my own world. And I decided, that day to go around coffee shops in my neighborhood and get a job. And in the past, that's how I've gotten my other jobs. I've showed up with resumes and I would get jobs in the spot. But this time around, everybody said no to me again. Even though I was showing up in person with my resume, and I was like, oh my gosh, not even the coffee shop around the corner saying yes to me? What is going on? So that's when I made that video, and that video was basically like me asking for help to everyone. And, it was like my last straw, my last solution. So when I posted that video, I had like 50,000 followers on TikTok, around 2,000 on Instagram, and overnight I woke up to over 100,000 followers on TikTok, and my Instagram exploded, and my email was flooded with people telling me to work for them, to come work with them, people offering me direct referral links to their jobs at Google. I had somebody in California tell me that they would pay for my life, that they would get me a house or an apartment. I could tell them
Nice.
what salary I wanted. They would get me a car, and all I had to do was work for them and, be their social media right-hand girl.
Why did you not pursue that? If someone offered me a house and a car and my dream salary in
Yeah.
California, what stopped you
I
right
know
there?
because I was receiving all of these opportunities all at once. I was reached out to by a producer who dated a really, really, really famous singer, and I couldn't refuse that opportunity. So I will just say that I had so many things all of a sudden on the table for me where before I had zero offers, zero opportunities, but this time around I had hundreds of offers. I had hundreds of opportunities. And I was overwhelmed because I'm not a person who finds success easily. I have never had that easy or come easy to me. So this time around, I just felt a lot of pressure. And I felt like, oh my gosh, I need to make the right choice, because if I don't, then I'm going to end up with nothing all over again. And I don't want that. And so, lucky for me, I decided to work at this company called Gymnasium. And it was incredible. I was now like meeting people that were of high status, and it was just super incredible. I was like creating TV shows for TikTok. One show I was working on was called Boy Room. That was super exciting and incredible, and I had the best time at that company. And then soon after that company, I was offered a position at Redgert. So I feel like even though the position in California, was so alluring and so exciting, I felt like there was something still here for me in New York and not in California. And also, I was given very short notice. That person wanted me to move there for 3 days, in 3 days. And I was like, I have a dog and I have family here, and, I have roommates. I can't really uproot my life for somebody I don't know. So I'll say it really changed my life for me now, being able to have more agency in my life. And now I feel like I'm also treated better than I ever was before. People actually like are interested in me, or they care about what I have to say or things that I have to offer. Whereas before, when I didn't have the platforms that I have now, I felt like I had to be more of like a listener and a consumer of media and a consumer of knowledge rather than somebody who shares knowledge.
That's very interesting for me to hear. I'm wondering, once you had this, let's call it the big breakthrough, did you
Yeah.
start like changing strategy?
I will say that anyone who says they have strategies is lying, because nobody knows what they're doing at the end of the day, and everybody's just pushing through as much as the next person. So for me, no strategy. Every single day is a new day for me. I don't know what I'm going to post today. Maybe I'm going to do a fit check. Maybe something really funny is going to happen to me today, and I'm going to do a story time. So honestly, I'm reinventing myself every single day, and I don't know what's gonna, be in store for me a month from now or 2 months from now, but I will say no strategy. The only strategy I have is to keep going and to post, whether it's once a day or twice a day, but just post. And if something works, then do it again. That's what I do. If, for example, my fit checks with strangers, that works, right? That's getting millions of views or 100,000 views. Of course, I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to repeat the formula of success. I'm going to go and do the fit checks again because people like to consume that content, and I like to do that content. And so my own strategy is I post, and if something works, I keep doing it. And then if it dies down, then I shift and I do something else. I try new things, and then whatever sticks, I'll do that again.
And I was also wondering, like, how do you make sure you, like, let's say, take care of your community, both on TikTok, on Instagram? How do you maintain this community to be very
Yeah.
engaged?
I would say I definitely try to like reply to comments, like comments all the time, give advice, or like if people ask me for certain things or life advice, then maybe I'll make a video telling them about like updates of my life and how I overcame, like unemployment. I think that I just share my journey with people, and within me sharing my personal experiences, it helps them like maybe have hope in their own life. A lot of people share that with me, that I bring them joy or that I give them hope. Just talking to the camera, I think, is helpful, you know? There's, even though like there is a lot of things that I do behind the scenes that people don't know that I do that is, you know, strategic and on purpose, but a lot of it is also just me. And I think that's what clicks, because I'm not selling you things. I mean, I'll have brand deals here and there, but if you go on my page, I don't have a brand deal 3 times a week, twice a week, you know? The things I do are intentional, and I feel like when people come on my page, they'll know that I'm not there just to sell. I'm also there to be and to live.
We also wanted to ask you if you had any collaborations with other creators, and if you did, how did they impact your growth?
Yes, I haven't really collaborated with creators online yet, because a lot of my content has been, you know, like so personal and I'm still building my own brand. But I have developed a lot of friendships with creators, and it's been amazing. You know, like I have friendships with them in real life, and that's cool. We text, we give each other advice, we hang out, we grab coffee. So even though I'm not, you know, making videos with some of your favorite creators, I'm still hanging out with them. And I think that's great because, yeah, because like being in this like business without having, you know, friends feels very lonely. And then when you do have friends, you could talk to them, you know, you could say, oh my gosh, like, did you see my video? It's starting to do so well. Or, oh my God, I know like my videos are not doing well too. I don't know what's happening. Or, you know, we support each other. We'll text each other and say, oh my gosh, girl, you're in the pocket. Keep doing that. Like, I love it when you do this. Or we'll give each other advice. We'll say, oh, I would love for you to see, to do this kind of content or this kind of content. So that's where I'm at so far.
And Lohanny, if you, I mean, a lot of that you already talked about, but if you would have to give like one advice to someone who really wants to start to grow on TikTok, what would you tell that person?
I'm not sure if it would work for a business, but it's interesting to me, like, pay attention to the businesses that are really, you know, getting the followers online. For example, Marc Jacobs, they're doing something right. They're doing everything but showing you, like, selling you their purses, you know? Like, let's say this is Marc Jacobs product, right? They're not showing you aesthetic ways of all the products, and they're not showing you what's in their bag, right? They're collaborating with really funny and relevant creators. They're doing the trends. They're being hilarious, you know? They're being relatable. They're showing you a buy my stuff if you want attitude, you know? And because of it, people want it. Also, Set Active. What I love about Set Active is, you know, they have the athleisure, and they're still showing it on camera. They're showing people trying it on, but they're also showing the office environment. We're seeing what the coworkers are like, what people like, what their favorite things are. We're getting personality behind the camera, and that's really, really cool, because now I want to buy Set Active because I like the people who work at Set Active. I do think Set Active is awesome, and you know, their athleisure is great, but I now have a connection to the brand because I really like the kind of content they make. Duolingo also puts out like content that's out there. Dr. Miami, he's the surgeon in Miami, and he makes really funny content, talks about controversial topics all the time, and all of it is related to him being a surgeon at the end of the day. Like, that's awesome. So for a business, you know, like maybe you and your coworkers eat lunch together every day. Show me what you're eating for lunch, you know? And then the next video could be about your own business strategy and what you think. So there has to be a balance behind, you know, the human and the office environment and the real people. And then you could sprinkle in, by the way, this is my business, this is what we do, and this is who we want to work with, you know? Maybe you're making a video of your top 5 dream influencers that you want to work with, right? And then you get those 5 influencers, and then you could make an update video. Guys, like, I need to update you. Like, remember when I said I really want to work with my dream influencers? It's happening, and I'm so excited. Like, thank you for being a part of this journey with me. It's like all about like updating people along the way too.
I love those examples. Super cool. Also interesting topic with those like employee influencers. Like that's a big thing happening right now.
Yeah, and there's so many funny videos where like the social media girl shows up to the office and everybody runs away. Nobody wants to make TikToks with her. Like, that's funny
That's
too,
cute.
you know, because it's like relatable. People are busy working, but you know, you still have to make your content.
Okay, then our last question is, where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
For 5 years from now, I see myself as one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, in the influencer industry. I see myself as a producer. I'm like, you know, calling the shots. I'm making movies that are being nominated for huge awards. You know, like I'm a powerhouse. I wear many different hats. Yeah, I'm either like an actor, I'm a lead in a movie or a TV show, or I'm producing that show, or I'm doing both. I'm producing and I'm being in it. I also see myself, you know, creating content long term. I see myself having maybe like my own bedding brand because I really enjoy housing and bedding. I really like fragrances. I also like struggle with anxiety and depression. So maybe, you know, like helping inspiring people to take care of themselves. And I also come from a really, really poor background. I grew up very, very poor, helping people in the communities that I grew up in and showing people that even though you are growing up poor or you grew up poor, you can still be somebody in your life. And for a long time, I was embarrassed to share that with people because I thought maybe they would see me differently if I shared with them the way that I grew up. But now, honestly, I think it's empowering because, you know, like I came from nothing and I'm becoming something or I am someone. And, you know, I feel like that's something that I've grown to be really proud of. But yeah, in 5 years from now, I just see myself still being in the entertainment industry and making a difference in people's lives positively and, you know, hopefully owning a home someday because I've never lived in a house and I really would love to.
So beautiful. I mean, we definitely see you right there. So
Exactly.
it's gonna happen.
That was very touching. Thanks for sharing, Lohanny.
Of
Yeah.
course, thank you so
Very
much for
inspiring.
having me, guys.